If you're building or growing a brand in 2026, then you know that the same strategies and tools that used to work are not going to work anymore. AI has changed the game. And along with it, how and where you get discovered, how you run your ads, the type of content you need to create, where to spend your marketing budget, all of this has changed. Today, I'm going to run through 2 tools that are actually going to help you learn more about your customers and how to run more effective ad and marketing campaigns. I have looked through hundreds of trending startups to understand what's going on in the marketing space and, more importantly, what's coming in the near future. So enough preamble. If this is what you've been looking for, let's dive in. Now, I ran an agency and a consulting business for several years that mainly worked with medium to large scale fashion brands. And one of the most commonly asked questions that I got was, how do I analyze my competitors? I've got one of the best tools for doing this, and I'm going to show you how it works. Now, personally, I always learn better when there's an example to focus on. So let's say that I am a shoe brand called Ben's Shoes. The trick to growing a brand like this is knowing exactly where your audience is, how they shop, and what your competitors are doing to actually win their attention. That's exactly what the SEMrush Traffic Market Toolkit is designed to do. Here's how it works. The toolkit lets you analyze not just your own traffic, but your competitors too. Now, for a shoe brand, that means that I could plug in a bunch of other competitor companies to see exactly where their traffic is coming from. Are they leaning heavily on TikTok ads? Is search traffic driving the bulk of their sales for terms like best running shoes? Or maybe they're crushing it with influencer partnerships on Instagram. I don't know. But with this data, you can actually see what's working in your space and adapt these strategies for your own growth. So let's take a quick look under the hood. Inside the tool, you'll see a panel where you can type in a domain you want to analyze, then add more competitors. Once you've got this done, you can take a look at that traffic analytics dashboard. That's going to help you see each domain's total visits, engagement metrics, and how traffic is distributed across devices and channels. You can even see where each domain's traffic is actually coming from, whether it's direct visits, search engines, referrals, social media, email, paid ads, and how that trend has shifted over time. Now, this part is pretty cool. You can even see where visitors come from before landing on that domain and where they go after. Now, what that really means is that you can understand which sites are sending traffic to your competitors' domains, see where users navigate next, and identify potential partnerships, threats, content gaps, anything. You can also see the top pages, the geo distribution, which shows you traffic by country, so you know exactly where to target your customers. If you click this Daily Trends tab, you can actually see these day-to-day changes on all of these channels. And in the top pages section, you can filter by different categories to see what pages have the best organic traffic, paid social traffic, and more. Now, this is super important because I've seen so many brands, even big brands, who are spending an insane amount of their marketing budget sending traffic to the wrong pages. And by wrong pages, I mean ones that don't convert. So this helps you identify these patterns so you understand where your competitors are actually successfully marketing their products. That is huge. Is it a sales page, a specific landing page, a product page? It just removes the guesswork. Real quick, last thing, I want to mention the demographics section. You can see stuff like age, sex, location, which is super important to know before you start making your ad creative. Now, there's so much more that I could go into with this tool, but I'm not going to sit here for hours and do that. If you'd like to learn more about this one or see specific use cases of how it can work, just drop me a comment below and I will try to make a specific tutorial for this tool. Okay, so now that you have a better understanding of your competitors, of your customers, you need to create content that actually resonates with that audience. And this can be some of the most painstaking and expensive work in the whole process. Now, obviously with the explosion of AI, there's so many different content generation tools. So I'm just going to mention one that I think is underused, or at least underhyped. Synthesia is an app that helps you produce professional level videos with zero traditional video production equipment. They've raised over $330 million in funding, and they've seen some huge growth in the past 5 years. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, UGC is super important for e-commerce marketing. And if you're a newer brand, it can be really hard to find the right creators within your budget. The thing is though, the value with influencer marketing, aside from accessing their own audience, is using those videos to run paid ads. This tool can actually help you create AI avatars who speak a bunch of different languages. At first glance, you might brush off this tool as being something only for HR departments, sales staff, company training stuff, but wait. The real value I see is creating UGC like this. All you have to do is screen record your product page, your sales page, then generate an AI avatar talking about the features and benefits with no background. And boom, you've got a high converting ad. It literally took me 30 seconds to find this example in the TikTok Creative Center. So clearly this strategy is raking it in for brands at almost zero cost. Now, I ran an agency, I know, because brands have paid us thousands and thousands of dollars to create whole ad creative campaigns for them. Hiring models, a professional video team, location sourcing. There's so many things that go into this process and so much money that's spent on it. New brands don't have that kind of budget. This is an almost free strategy to get content that actually rakes in profit. So if I were getting started, what I would first do is write down all the features and benefits of the product that you're selling. Then I would use GPT to write a script like this. I'm creating a video ad for a shoe brand specifically for people who love hiking but have knee problems. Please write a 30-second video script which should be delivered by a man in his 50s direct to the camera. Please mention the following features and benefits. Then you can paste that script directly into the prompt and watch that video come to life. Now, once you screen record your sales pages, toss a couple of product photos on screen, you've got yourself a winning ad. Now, if you use both the tools that I mentioned here, you're going to know exactly who your target demographic is, where you need to focus your marketing budget, and how to create high-converting video ads to rake in sales. If you want more videos where I do a deep dive into tools that can help supercharge your marketing next year, drop me a comment below. Let me know what industry you're in, what type of brand you're trying to grow, and I'll recommend you a tool that can actually help you today. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.